Greg Gagne starts wrestling in 1972. Where does Greg rank in the all-time nepotism list of sons of wrestlers who are pushed in their father's territories?
He never put on weight. That's luckily. How many people can you say that about? He probably could have bulked up and looked more. Looked more the part. Done got to the gym and got a little testosterone going in him. But I wasn't around when they were training, and he never squealed on me. He was a good guy because I used to come. I used to go to the farm there when those guys were working out, and when Robinson didn't have to leave or Robinson was gone, I wasn't going to stretch the Sheik or Patera, any of those guys. So then, boom, okay. We would start headlock, tackle, drop down, hip toss. Then we'd go through sequences, high spot sequences. Well, they loved me. I wasn't. And most of the time, I was just running and training with them. I didn't take the beatings and stuff that they did. That because they were students. So I was standing on the side. Probably they'd probably like to give me a beating. They're there dying. They probably wanted. But I wasn't a wise ass. I hung with Patera. I used to hang with Patera and Flair a little bit. Flair wasn't around. Gagne, Greg, and Brunsey. Brunsey and I were friends. Yeah, and, we're all a good crew, good guys. And later the two Dennises, Bachunkel and Stamp.
Okay, then. Could Greg actually work?
Yeah, good worker. Or, he was Gagne's son, so nobody, nobody's going to put him over. No, nobody can say you're one of the all-time greatest or anything. No, he's a good worker. I watched him. Never worked with him a lot. Never, but I've seen their matches. I've seen, and no Brunsey and stuff. Yeah. He didn't try to steal the thing as in the tags. The ones I saw, I never heard anybody, Adonis or any of the guys that worked with him, Jesse or. I was never close to Jesse, but Adonis or any of those other guys that had worked a lot with Greg, I never heard any, never heard a bad word about him.
Yeah.
Like Mike Graham, Greg was skinny, Mike was short. That was their flaws. That was their flaws in the business. Greg never bulked up till he had the height, but he didn't have the width. And Mike was thick, but he didn't have the height that that your majority would put over. That there's still a lot of old timers still hanging in the business, and still a lot of places you had to go, a lot of territories and stuff you had to go around to. So everybody didn't have a bouquet of roses for you when you came in the door.
It's a shame they never had a tag team of Skinny and Short.
Yeah.
Greg and Mike, that would have been a surefire hit.
Skinny and Shirt's promoter sons. Both. I don't know Greg's mind. I've heard him talk, and he seems intelligent. But I know Mike Graham was. I know Mike Graham was sharp, and inherited a lot of his father's acumen for finishes and programs and how to wrestle and how to But he was around. He was around Briscoe, and Valentine, and his old man. All these guys. It's a shame. He called me out of the blue. On my phone rang, and I Gossett. And I only knew one Gossett, and Graham. So I asked, hey, this is like, how you doing? I hadn't spoken to him in years. He said, how you doing? Blah blah blah. I'm doing a radio interview. I don't think it was even podcast. It was a week before he passed, and he booked me for that Monday or that Tuesday. After he'd gone up to Daytona and took his life, he booked me to be his guest on that show. I don't know. And we talked and stuff about, Florida and our times in Florida and the times that he opened the bar. And I got along. He was a good head. Like I said, he wasn't a spoiled brat or anything. He was, but not, not to us, not the boys. I mean, he had boats and cars, and light up watches and all kinds of stuff. But, but he wasn't, he was cool. He was cool as far as, he didn't press it or didn't hang out too much, So, but he owned a bar. He opened a bar in Tampa. So he was a pretty cool guy.